let's hear from our team captains. Hello, gents.
Hello.
Hey, Marshall.
So with me here are Furbleman from PXS and Psycho representing Team Burning. How are you both?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the first iteration of Planetary Extinction.
Oh, very much so.
I hope you've brought your best players for the showcase.
Yeah. Oh, we usually do.
I mean, I'm just looking at the player list, and it seems as though you've brought every player, not just your best.
Oh, we've always got a few more in reserve.
Yeah, we've had a couple of dropouts over the last week, so.
Well, still got enough for, what is it, an 8v8 or something silly going on up there, so it should still be a good game.
Looking at the system, it's going to be a cluster.
Oh yes. And yourselves and your teams, are you guys looking forward to it? Have you been planning ahead, or are you just going to take it as it comes?
Team Burning definitely take it as it comes. We've been playing together Planetary Annihilation years now, so our teamwork and communication are down pat. Just whether we've got the game skills that we used to have is another question, but the communication and teamwork's definitely there.
And yourself, Furbleman, with PXS?
Yeah, I mean, recently we've just gotten a huge number of new players, so we're just sort of figuring out what our different strengths are, and we haven't really practiced together for an event like this, but we'll just see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, well, seems as though you're both sort of taking it as it comes, which can be both a blessing and a curse, particularly on Bang Battle. Have you got any reservations about this map in particular?
The only reservations that I have is as main planets start getting hallied, it seems to me like these moons are going to go crazy. There's going to be some accidental and incidental smashes going on with these little moons, which is going to make for a very interesting game as soon as the hallies come out.
Oh, indeed, indeed. And are you planning for that eventuality? I.e., do you want to do some smashing?
Oh well, with a system with 6 moons that are all halliable, it's pretty ignorant to rule that out as a possibility. You've always got to be prepared for whatever the enemy team throws at you, and being able to throw a moon at a heavily fortified main planet is never a bad strategy.
And any cheeky invasions and Ragnaroks on the horizon, perhaps?
Ragnaroks are very difficult to pull off when you're playing against another 8-player team. Invasions, for sure. You know, a well-placed Helios can change the game.
Indeed it can. Well, I don't want to hold you up any longer, because I believe you are probably looking forward to this just as much as myself and the audience is, so I will let you two get back to your teams, unless you have any final words and banter for the other teams, any intimidation tactics that you'd like to say to each other?
Well, I think we've finally got Skywalker's orbital game locked down, so we'll see how he goes on the gas giant this time. As he always seems to, every game we play seems to provide quite a good resistance to any invasions onto that elusive gas giant. Better watch his back.
Yeah. Yeah, and just be prepared for anything, I guess.
Not giving anything away.
No, I don't really want to. I just want to keep it a surprise. Not that we've got anything planned, but just in case.
Well, you've got...
Where's the confidence? Where's the confidence? I'm not hearing any confidence here.
Oh, that's just how we roll. Not going to give anything away.
Oh, good luck to PXS.
And good luck to you too.
Good game anyway.
Yeah, and good luck to both teams. I will let you get back and start planning.
Yeah, cheers.
Sure. Thanks, Marshall.
Thanks very much, and have fun.
Cheers, we will.
Well, on that note, they are going to return to their teams now, and we are just about ready to commence our game here. Here we go. This is Planetary Extinction. So, who knows what could happen? Nobody does, but this is Bang Battle, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to be needing a lot of stuff, a lot of camera control here, and who knows what may happen. And for some reason, my audio seems to be missing. Oh, it's back. There we go. So, as you can see, we've got our central gas giant here. And around that, you've got our lava planets, all of which are spawnable. So we're going to have our team split in 3 different ways here to begin with. If I just zoom in on one of these lava planets, you can see the metal distribution is roughly the same across each of them. They all have the same biome, so there's no huge variation there. And on each of the moons, we have a fair amount of metal here. Each of these green pips, for those of you new to the game, is a metal resource point. There are 2 resources in the game, metal and energy. Metal used to build, energy used to power. Looks like pings are going off from both teams, ready to deliberate as to where their spawns are. And I'm just going to set up my camera anchors while I have the chance, because once this starts, I'm not going to. So, here we go. Alright, well, here we go. It's Planetary Extinction. I'm Marshall. And here we have Team Burning versus Team PXS. Team Burning in red and PXS in blue. Everyone is MLA. Legion is not enabled here. So on our first of 3 lava planets, we have 2 Team Burning players and 1 Team PXS. That's going to be an interesting 2v1 there. He's going to need to get up some teleports from his allies to get some support. However, that's not to say that he may or may not need his other teammates to survive. But of course, in this 8 versus 8, it's all going to depend on how the other planets fare as well. So we've got 2 PXS up on together there, 2 down on the south, going orbital straight away. And over here we've got 1, 2, 3 burning players. So 4v3 on this one, so you can see how this is going to develop going forward. It's going to be an interesting one for Burning to win maybe 1 lava planet, PXS another, although if they're rushing orbital, who knows, they have got a nice clump of metal there that they can get on with using. Burning also rushing orbital, of course the gas giant provides a huge resource advantage, and that is really, really important going forward. Team Burning wasting no time in getting an orbital fighter over there just to patrol. PXS is aware of what's going on. They can see the orbital as it comes up and away, and equally Team Burning can see where PXS's base is there. T2 is going to be something that each of these teams are going to be wanting to get up very, very early indeed, especially in an orbital game. You kind of want your latent T2 almost as soon as the game begins, really. On our final lava planet here, we've got 1 PXS over there, a second burning, another PXS, and a third burning there. So again, 3v2 here. And 1 up north, 3v3. There we go. So this third lava planet, going to be potentially interesting. Unfortunately for the PXS and burning guys, they're all spread out a lot here, so they're not really going to be able to mega base to one another with any form of ease. And there's a lot of geography around these lava planets, which is going to make building slightly tricky insofar as turtling is concerned. Now, I'm just going to hop over to this gas giant here because within relative proximity of each other, we have burning here, setting up a jig. We've got some Avengers potentially moving off to go and do some harassment on these fabricators that are trying to build jigs for both teams here. It should be noted that once a jig has begun production, if you kill it, it explodes just as it would if it was finished. So you can either go for the Faber Snipe or for the Jig Snipe. It makes no difference whatsoever. Faber Snipe is probably a little bit easier because it sets back your opponent and wastes less time, although Fabers can get caught in buildings like that and you just end up soaking all that damage. Right, I'm going to be hopping around here with my camera anchors as desperately as possible to try and keep up on all of the action going forward. So, on Lava Planet 1, PXS going up for a bunch of T1, getting surrounded a little bit here by the Burning team. Lots of Fabers coming out. No T2 just yet from that nearby Burning player, but we've already got some teleporters up over here. Lots of T1 coming out as well. Still no T2, and a push from PXS indeed. Could hamper Burning here just a little bit. This is a lot of tanks. There is the turret up there. We have got an Inferno soaking a bit of damage, a few docks there as well. And the radar providing a nice bit of intelligence as to this attack arriving before it does, so Burning can react to it. Another teleporter going up there, and T2 from PXS as well. T2 vehicles. Teleporters, of course, can send fabricators and ground-based units across the galaxy to assist wherever it's needed. I'm going to use this here, this picture-in-picture, to watch the gas giant so that you can see the development of this as it happens. We have got the orbital stuff going there with two commanders, a bunch of orbital launchers here now from Burning, so they are really getting into the orbital space. And as they did say, they had figured out Skywalker's orbital strategy, so perhaps that's what's going to allow them to win this game. Skywalker is renowned in PA for his abilities. However, equally, we have got some pretty big names in the Burning team as well. We've got Ho-Ho-Po, we've got LJ Fed, Elite Sidicon, Nosebreaker. We've got Furbleman for PXS. This attack here against two commanders, it should be defended with just a couple of Uber cannons. But a scratch is all we have over there. Again, T2 vehicles over here as well. You can see the economies there coping very nicely with it. Some pings coming off from blue. We can see them trying to get to that gas giant in the picture-in-picture over there. Lots of air coming out from them, trying to get the air control. And it looks as though Burning have a few air factories of their own, but looks like 2, perhaps 3. A few air fabbers going up there. How many air factories do we have for PXS? 1, 2... and that's about it. So Burning do still have the air advantage on that lava planet there. Burning also pushing out on the third lava planet of all places. And it looks as though they're making a little bit of headway. They've pushed through a couple of teleporters there. Pelters. Chewing into a few factories. The commander turning tail and running. He's going to be wanting to put up a teleporter as soon as possible to get out of there. Or indeed to get some of his mates to send across some armies. But what PXS really need to do here is find the planets that they are strongest on, figure it out together, and create a surplus on that planet which they can then send to the other places. Because currently Burning is swamping with units. There's landmines, there's factories all over the place. Let's have a look in the army count here so we can see the factory disparity here. 55 to 37 gives you an indication as to why Burning armies are so omnipresent at the moment, and ubiquitous. Commander over here looks as though he might have had a few close shaves with boombots, although that might have been explosive walls. Who knows? PXS here have the opportunity to really pincer this red base, but currently they're trying to get their T2 up. They have now got it. Burning expanding on the gas giant, and finally PXS are doing the same as well. So now that those bits of economy are really going to kick in, we're going to see both teams really ramp up the T2 production. Could we see a com kill here from Burning? It's possible, but unlikely. It's weakening over time, down to 28%. And lots of boombots from Burning here coming in round the back to surprise. Is this commander going to be ready with an Uber cannon? I think he might just be, but I'm not sure he's going to survive it. He is not. Down goes one commander. 8 commanders play 7. Of course, when all commanders are gone, that's the game. All you have to do is kill the opposing team's commanders. Team Burning here with a big old air force as well. What's going on there? 15 hummingbirds of all things, playing only 10. Commanders getting off from PXS by the looks of it. Let's have a look around as well here. We've got Burning trying to prevent PXS from getting onto the gas giant. They're really hunkering down and preventing PXS's orbital play here. Should be noted that we do have some moon expansion, and this is what Burning need to figure out. Because PXS, with these unchecked moons, can start launching them if they so desire. There's so much metal on here that they can catch up even if they don't have a huge presence on the lava planet. That's a second PXS commander gone down. That's not good news for them whatsoever. A few levelers there from Burning taking down a PXS commander on the first lava planet. Not sure whose in particular it was, but the base still stands as the players share all their resources and units. So until all the commanders are gone, anything that is built and is in play. But yes, as I was saying about moons, let's have a look around. So we've got PXS on 1, PXS on 2. Lava planet over here. PXS seem to have some form of hunkering down there. Burning, not focusing on this planet too much, but of course once they've killed off the other planets, they can reroute all of their units through other teleporters to try and find these commanders as quickly as possible, because PXS's late game is very strong, although it should be noted that Burning's is as well. A few mobile artillery units in here are going to make really good use of the geography on these lava planets. Really great choice of unit composition there. Boombots trying to get close. Boombots are good against vehicle hordes like this, but unfortunately there's just too many there and too few boombots to really do a huge amount. 2 commanders down here and 1 weakened as well. But moving around on the moons, we have Burning on one of them. We have Burning potentially on a second. There's that last lava planet there. Looks like PXS has been wiped off bar 1 base and is about to be completely killed off the north base there. No commanders remain here. They must have escaped. But this is not good news for PXS whatsoever, and is fantastic news for Team Burning. Fantastic news indeed. Because once they get that handle on PXS, they're really starting to snowball, and preventing PXS from getting any form of foothold in this game is exactly what they need to do. PXS, they're falling behind by about 1,000 metal, and this is well, I was going to say partially, but mostly due to their presence on the gas giant there. So important to get the gas giant in these games, but Burning has not eliminated PXS yet. They do still have the moons. Looking round further at the other moons, we got one empty there and another empty there. So PXS here can get up to their T2. They're getting up T2 bot factory there, and they can either use this to build tons and tons of fabricators, or they can use it to get tons and tons of locusts and just run rings around bases on the other lava planets. Who knows? Who knows? Because most of these bases from Burning, and most of their expansions, are very, very lightly defended indeed, it should be noted. And locusts, they run around as nanobot swarms do. They don't tend to run, but let's just imagine it for a moment that nanobots have lots of little legs that they scurry around. But anyway, they chew stuff very, very quickly indeed. The lower the metal value, the faster the chew. The much easier it is to digest as well, so they can run around and take out all of the expansion, all of the factories, if they're in a big enough horde. But that is something that PXS is going to have to weigh up against fighting back against Burning, because Burning is getting all of these planets, it would seem to me. And their gas giant control is just so good. It looks like PXS has tried once again and failed to get a foothold there. And that is very, very important to note. Trying to get back into the air game as well. The air game very important there. T2 Air, of course, provides Phoenix. Phoenix are interplanetary fighters. They are not just bound to one planet. But the more Burning push out here, the less they have defending their base. And here we can see PXS trying to leg it, but who knows? Who knows? We've got a couple of commanders on here, lots of eco powerhouses, and they're going to want to start thinking about anti-nukes here. With Burning's economy as far in the lead as it is, you're going to want anti-nukes at this point of the game. It's 15 minutes in. A team has effective gas planet control. And they have control of the other planets as well that PXS does not have a huge amount of intelligence of. Getting their commanders off the planets, though, is good because it prevents them from being sniped in the immediate term. They do now want to start getting up some orbital defences, however, because Burning will be chasing them into the orbital space around these moons to try and find these commanders as quickly as possible. Do we see any nuclear play from Burning just yet? We do not so far. We do see some Omegas coming out from Burning, which is an interesting choice. You don't tend to see them very often. But I suppose in a game like this, the more you see, the more you get. Again, Burning's control on these moons. Don't want to give them that free control. Burning have some orbital radar there as well. So they have awareness of what PXS is doing on each of these places. Complete control of this lava planet here from Burning, which is fantastic for them. Every unit produced on this planet can now go to a different one. And we're just getting tons and tons of fabricators here. I wonder what they're doing with these. Could it be the nuclear strategy? Quite possibly. Or maybe they're just going to go and build some kernels and get them to move on to another planet, make a beachhead, and Ragnarok an enemy planet there. But we have to see some smashing. I'm looking forward to that. PXS trying to get as many moons as they can. I think this is their really viable strategy here going forward. And one of their only viable strategies, because Burning have 2 lava planets under their belt and the gas giant. To any experienced player of PA, you're going to be looking at this thinking, yeah, Burning have this in the bag. But it is not over yet. PXS can pull off a sequence of snipes, a sequence of smashes, and still win the game. But they have to clear this gas giant. Burning are almost 3,000 metal ahead. 3,000. That is insane. And as far as resources are concerned. 3,000. Let's have a look back at the army counts there and the factories. 90 factories to 34. PXS is flaking today. But they have a bastion. A bunch of umbrellas. No anti-nukes yet. That is important. Building one now, though. I have a feeling that Burning will really be pushing for the nuclear game here. PXS, with all of their fabricators, will be wanting to get as many bastions on these moons as possible before maybe trying to rush up some Halleys. They do have the economy to do some rushing, but they have to get some storage out and start stockpiling, because currently I don't feel like they've really prioritized themselves very well. Their unit count is not fantastic. 300 to 1,700, 1,800 indeed. And Burning can just roll forward with their factory count. They don't even need to glump up if they needed to. And we have some nuclear play and unit cannons. Moons are no longer a safe place for PXS, as these unit cannons can launch units across space. But they do need the orbital defences, and they do have some, and that's what's important. What have we got queued up here? Just the 2 and some anti-nukes. I hope Burning decide to do some smashing. That could be quite fun. They've just got to be careful on this system, because smashing is not fantastic. That looks like a commander was killed over here. And we see a Halley in the notifications there from Burning. Burning are preparing to smash. This is a very early smash from them, but then again, they do have the economy for it. Let's find out where this Halley is. Oh, looks like PXS have some fabbers of their own over here. Where is Burning's Halley? Let's have a look. There it is. And how many Halleys do they need? 2 per moon. And they've almost already got 1. And it's going up very, very fast indeed. So that's on what? Moon 6. Okay. Moon 6. Let's have a look around the other moons. PXS there, kind of waiting for their demise. They need to have some form of strategy here. Getting some anti-nukes, but I don't see their long-term game. They have an overabundance of fabricators now. Look at this. They've bred like rabbits. Exploded in fabricator population. And a Halley begins. Looks like PXS is trying to keep this lava planet, and that's what's important. The thing is, Burning can smash moons without worrying about lava planets and other moons therefore going into incidental smashes. It's only if lava planets are destroyed that the moons lose their orbit and could fall into the other lava planets there. Pings from Burning saying, "Oi, we don't want to smash this. Our commander's sat on here. Get him off." This is true. You want to get them off there? You don't want to lose a commander needlessly now, do you? I certainly wouldn't. Get him off. You don't need walls. You're about to smash. No walls are required. Come on then. We are ready. And our commander is sat, sentry. You've got to be careful with these moons though, because they can just find a lava planet in the wrong place as they fly around this chain of orbits here. And that will happen. I'm going to close this so that if the moon does start moving, you can see it as it does. That's a lot of nukes. 2 nukes already, building the 3rd, and they are not yet stalling. 6k metal. How many air fabs is that? 27. That's fast enough. And we have a moon on the move. Do not smash the wrong thing. It's possible here. It's possible. They've got to watch out. Wow, just through the middle there. Ha! And that moon is going to go around the sun and come back heading straight for PXS's base. There's not a lot they can do about this right now other than hope that that moon hits something on the way or move their commanders elsewhere. Because Burning on this gas giant just has everything. And that's all they need. And looking at it, I have a feeling that that moon as it comes in for a smash is going to do a world of pain here. What have we got Fabbers doing here? What? PXS, what is your game plan, guys? What is your game plan? Here comes the moon. Can just about see it there. I'm going to get rid of this so we can see it come in. Should have a reasonably smooth trajectory. Nothing in its way. Yet. Possibly. And there we go. They were very fortunate with that. Smash number 1. Kaboom. 2 moons down. And a few commanders killed in that, I suspect. Oh. And we have nukes too. And a Helios on its way. I didn't notice this, but we've got 3 nukes all coming to the same base. No anti-nukes. Explosions ahoy. Down goes all of the air, all of the base, all of the factories, all of the turtled defense. That's going to knock PXS off this place in its entirety. The Helios going to come in as well and will, once linked with the teleporter, start plopping units on top of this. We've got more Halleys located. and it would seem almost finished on a different moon. Let's have a look at which moon that is. 3, 4. That's PXS's last real stronghold there. All of their commanders are on there. They haven't got a huge amount left they can do. They're just waiting to die here, as Burning have all of the control, and they never really lost it, did they? All PXS can do at this point in the game is hope that this moon hits the wrong place, which it could do. It could do. And if it does, PXS have a show before their demise, because we do have the inevitable nuke parade. Here it comes. Where's it going? Could hit Lava Planet here. Could hit Lava Planet. Be careful. Ah! Oh, it hit the moon on the way past. Never mind. There goes PXS. That's the game. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. There was really no coming back in that game for PXS when they lost that gas giant so early on. Too early did they lose that game. GGs are called. Strong control there from the Burning Boys. That was not a suicide. It was... So, when moons are launched like this, they like to go around the sun and come back. But on its way to going around the sun, it hit its target anyway. So it makes no difference. The moon's dead, the game's over. And it is perhaps time to interview our players when they hop in to the interview room. I will be waiting for them, and they will join as and when. But, wow.
Yep.
Oh, here they come. Hello. Psycho
Hello.
from Burning and Fubbleman from PXS. What an interesting game, guys. PXS, what happened?
No one listened to me as Skywalker at the beginning when we were talking through the spawns, and then by then 2 minutes were up, and then we were all scattered around the place. People couldn't find their commanders, idle commanders, and it was a shambolic communication, is all I can say. And sorry, no, go for it.
Yeah, well, as I was saying before the match, communication and teamwork will win out over superior players any day.
Yeah. No, I mean, well played, obviously. But
No, you guys played well. We definitely respect you as a clan. We were actually quite surprised about the 10-15 minute mark. We all were kind of going, what's happening? What are they planning?
No, we were the same as well. What were we planning? Was the main question throughout the whole game. But yeah.
No,
well,
it was a good
GG.
game.
I mean, yeah.
And I feel as though even with your fluffed spawns and perhaps a little flaky communication there at the beginning, there was still the opportunity to really come back into that game until the gas giant started rolling away from you.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a way that we play, as probably everyone knows by now, and that just didn't work in that game because of the lack of communication, I guess. Because we were planning on, the classic, getting 4 or 5
Lock down
commanders
the gas
together in one
giant.
spot and rush the gas giant. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, people didn't really get that message, which was a surprise as well. And so we told one player to go on 3, and he went on the 3rd planet rather than the 3rd spawn. So that was the kind of vibe that we were getting during that match, and then it all kicked off a bit in Discord. But yeah, I mean, it was good fun, obviously, and no, I'm glad that you kicked us off the gas giant for once.
We knew that was one of the things that we had to do, especially after seeing you guys in previous games just dominate the game through control of the gas giant.
Yeah.
However, if you're ever going to control a gas giant, you got to have a commander somewhere.
That's very true. Even if he's on the gas giant.
Yeah. Commanders are easy to snipe on the gas giant.
Yeah.
And was your strategy then ever adapted to, okay, there's a whole bunch of moons here, we should really get to all of these as fast as possible, even if we've lost the gas giant, we can still make something happen by just confusing them as to where our commanders are, perhaps?
Yeah, and I tried that as well, but then people kept on randomly linking portals to other planets, and then I'd originally linked a couple of commanders to go on the last planet because for some reason we weren't attacked on the last moon. But then someone linked it back, and so there were four or five commanders on one moon at the very end, and I was like, why has this happened? And someone said, oh, I wanted to make sure the commanders were safe, and I was like, yeah, but you've got to have them spread out as well so they can't kill us with one Halley. So, yeah. But I think we all learnt a lesson. And our strategy was adapted, obviously, but it's difficult to sort of execute those strategies when you don't have any eco, and everyone's in a grumpy mood, including me.
Yeah, I guess what you really need to do when you find yourself in those situations is to just say, okay, guys, yeah, we fluffed the start, but let's, refocus, reorient, and get moving.
Yeah. We tried as well, but it's difficult, especially because we've all got such. Sorry, I know I'm ranting on now, but we've all got such particular sets of skills, if you will.
Yeah.
And so trying to, because we're not 1v1 players or anything like that, so it's difficult for us to actually know how to play in that situation.
Is it fair to say then that perhaps a little more practice is required?
Well, yeah, that is very fair to say. And we've been trying recently. We really have. But then we just get more and more complaints that we only play as a team and things. I mean, we've done some intra-clan stuff as well, or inter-clan. I'm not sure which one to use, but I'm sure you get the message. And it's just yeah, more practice is required. is the main message.
Yeah, I mean,
well, we're always happy to play practice games against you guys when the time zones line up. This is always the problem with international gaming.
Perhaps we'll see a rematch from your two teams either this afternoon or at another point. I think people in the chat perhaps want a rematch right now if people have got the time, but then again, I do know that it's quite late for you guys down under.
I'm not against the idea. That's up for the captain elite to decide.
Yeah, we're up for one as well.
I'd be happy for a rematch.
I'm not sure some of the others would be because of the language, but
hey,
yeah, sure.
We've always found at the start of the game the best option is to just pay each other out until no one has any ego, and then you start the game.
Yep. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's the Australian way.
Well, we were all trying to be diplomatic and all, and that just, yeah.
No, it's much better if you call each other profanities from the very start.
Yeah.
Get used to calling each other profanities so that when you actually are calling people profanities, it's not a shock to their system.
Set the bar low and build it up from there. The only way to go is up.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey.
Hello there, Sadika.
How is everyone?
Good.
Doing well. Thanks for organising this. We were just tabling the idea of perhaps a second game. I do see Ferret in chat is saying it's a bit late for his folks. Have you any input on a rematch?
Well, we are going to follow up our event whenever it closes with a 20-player, maybe more, free-for-all on the custom server that the public will be available to join. Hopefully they can get a few snipes in on some commanders. As for the rematch, I think we've got a couple of our players that are leaving, so we might have to do that at another stage. But I'm definitely keen to play PXS many more times in the very near future. They are all a bunch of amazing players at the end of the day, so yeah, so maybe hold off on the rematch for now.
Yeah, no
Cool,
worries.
nice. In which case, let us know when those big free-for-alls are set up, and we can hop in and cast. In the meantime, though, thanks to all of you for stopping by and having these chats and interviews. Good games. Hope you enjoyed them.
Not a problem. Thank you, Marshall, for casting as always.
Yeah, thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah, awesome job.
Right, so that was Planetary Extinction League, the premiere. In the meantime, though, we will find that there's going to be that whole element of... gosh, there we go. Sorted out my sound at long last. We're going to have those big old free-for-alls starting very, very soon indeed.